and welcome to card 8. I'm using just my All About Mom stamp set for this card. So I inked up this sentiment with the VersaFine Onyx Black ink and then stamped it onto white cardstock, and then I'm using one of my labels for dies by Spellbinders and lining it up over the sentiment, and then I just use a piece of tape to hold it in place so that when I run it through my die cut machine, the die doesn't shift and do it crookedly. And then for the pattern paper that I had chosen for this card, I chose the Authentique Gathering Collection, so it's kind of like a burnt orange sort of color and a baby blue and browns and whatnot. So I sponged the edge of the die cut piece with Memento Potter's Clay ink, and then I die cut 2 more pieces with the larger dies from the Labels 4 set and used the pattern paper. And then on the largest one, I just used my Rich Cocoa Memento ink and sponged the edges of that with that. And then I did the same with all the other pattern papers I'm going to use on the card front, because once I start sponging, you just can't stop. So for the main sentiment there, I used dimensionals to kind of pop it up a bit. I get all my dimensionals from Jody Morrow. I link to it with all my other supplies. The picture link shows like the white dimensionals, but you just have to scroll down when you click on it to the black ones that I always use. So once I've kind of got my card front the way I want it, I die cut some flowers. This is from the CC Designs Phlox Flowers die. So it die cuts all 3 at the same time, and I just used some old, I think this is Peach Parfait cardstock from 7-Up. It's not available anymore. Anyway, so once I did that, I sponged all the edges. The smallest one I sponged with brown ink, and then I'm just using, this is the Imaginis petal roller tool, and I'm just using the ball end and with pretty firm pressure over a spongy mat. Like you could use a mouse pad or anything. I'm just using a little Stampin' Up mat. You just roll it in circles to kind of curl the petals. The pressure you use depends on how heavy your cardstock is. If it's a really lightweight like paper, don't press too hard because you'll rip. But this is a really heavyweight cardstock, so I'm using a pretty firm pressure and just a circular motion to make them dimensional. So really simple. I ended up doing that a couple times and I cut about 3 different flowers. And then I'm using the CC Designs, the Cutter's Leafy Branch die for the green, but I'll get to that in a minute. The ribbon's from my stash. I think I bought it from Michael's like ages ago. It's just brown satin ribbon. And the tape, I've been getting a lot of questions about it. It's just Scotch tape that you can get at like Walmart, anywhere that sells tape. It's just acid-free Scotch tape, the same stuff you wrap your presents with. So that's what I'm always using to tape the ribbon to the back of the card front. So I've got the ribbon, got the bow, got the main image, and then the flowers. Get those where I want them, and I'm just using scissors to pierce holes for the jumbo brads. And I've got to use a lot of pressure to get the hole through because you're going through 3 layers of cardstock plus the pattern paper. So once you've got the holes through, I'm just using some brown jumbo brads from my stash and get the flowers in place. And then I die cut 2 sets of these little leafy branch dies. They're really fine when they're die cut. And honestly, I found my Big Shot cut them way, way easier than my Cuttlebug did. That's why I've never really used them before, because I was having a heck of a time trying to get that intricate of a die through my Cuttlebug and actually get it to cut. Run it through my Big Shot and it went through like butter, like no problem whatsoever. So I just used Tombow Mono Multi to glue those into place behind all the flowers. And then I matted the card front with some brown cardstock. And then I'm going to adhere that to the card itself, which is just Stampin' Up's that Soft Sky cardstock. I get a lot of questions about cardstock too. I use mostly Stampin' Up cardstock. I really like their cardstock, and they have quite a large color variety. I'm not too happy when they retire the in colors because it's hard to, you can't get them anymore, but I have quite a huge collection from them. So anyway, on the inside of the card, I cut a strip of kind of more neutral pattern paper and then stamped the mom from the set because I had to use that. I just love how this font turned out and with the scroll work and everything. So I did that, and then I inked up the Happy Mother's Day sentiment and stamped that as well. And then of course I sponged everything. So once everything was sponged, it was just a matter of adhering it all together. Keeping it pretty simple. I didn't bother with a Labels 4 die cut on the inside because it just didn't fit and it didn't look right, so I just used the back side of one of the pattern papers, the blue, so that's where you could write your message on. So as always, there will be a link below with a link to my blog post with all the supplies used. And thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you all in the next video. Bye!